I first got into butchery through working as a chef, doing things on my own personal menu that I wanted with the flavors that I wanted. I've worked at very, very high volume restaurants where everything was pre-packaged, pre-frozen, and just seeing the disconnect in how the health industry is and kind of going from the macro to the micro and just seeing like, where does my food come from? What does it eat? What am I putting in my body? We're using wild boar, an invasive species, that it is a nuisance. They do tend to destroy a lot of agriculture. They can have 3 litters a year. It's a great sustainable source of protein with great nutritional value. The omegas and the fat are amazing. It's a great lean protein. We're taking a nuisance and turning it into a good product. You're looking at from the nutrients that go into the care of the animal, what is being fed. That's going to affect the flavor of the meat, the marbling of the animal. If a hog was this whole life taken care of, but then for the last couple minutes before it goes through the final process, it gets scared, shocked, anything along those lines, the meat's gone. The whole process is gone. You're going to get that bad smell. You're going to get that off texture, off flavor. The wonderful thing about a hog or pig is that it's basically you can use 100% of it, from the bones to the broth to using like the ears and nose for pig treats, along with the skin for chicharrones, the fat for rendering, for lard, for baking, for everything along those lines. So if you really have that set up, you can take a whole animal and basically utilize the whole animal. You're looking at it as a giant puzzle. It's all natural the way you're cutting it, just like anything else. If you kind of try to go against it, and that's where you're going to get your tougher cuts of meat. So the knife skills are very, very important, that you're looking at it as a dollar value. This is what the animal costs, and this is what you're expecting to make off that animal. If you have bad knife skills, then your yield is going down, which means you're cutting your cost out of yourself. I was lucky enough to grow up in kitchens that the scrap bin was where you made your family meal. So you learned how to utilize every little bit of it, and you get to see where the cost is coming from. So that was where I would always kind of come up with ideas, was I like, okay, but I would like to have these ingredients inside the sausage, not just that. You need to work with the chef on what is their idea, what is their vision of that dish. You want something that would harmonize with them along with that dish to kind of work with those flavors. Look where the animal lives, utilizing what is in season, what is fresh. You want to have that relationship with your butcher that you know where your product is, what you're putting in your body.